Do you really think Sunlight Park is always sunny? Because I'm pretty sure there's something called the moon. Beer, 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 beer. Hello everybody, welcome back to me, Mate Brewski, for another Rooski Brewski review. And today the beer I have for you is by the Left Field Brewing Company here in Toronto, Ontario. This is their Sunlight Park Grapefruit Saison. So, it's not a Radler. It's not a grapefruit Radler, it's a grapefruit Saison. Interesting. I like what Left Field's doing with their beer. I like their beer. This is the first time I'm seeing a short can with their label wrapped around here. Usually it's the big bottles, but I'm very excited. They've always looked very eye-catching and very appealing on the gram, so I'm finally happy to get a can in the LCBO. I still need to make my way down to the brewery and grab some beer straight from the source, but this will do for now. Coming in at 5.3% alcohol by volume. And is there a listed IBU? I don't see any listed IBUs, but that's fine because it's on the website. Coming in, Sunlight Park is coming in at 22 IBUs, so very, very low. Or not super low, but lower on the International Bitterness Unit chart. So, actually, before I crack it, I'm going to show you just a plain aluminum can wrapped with a yellow off-white wraparound sticker logo. Looks very nice. I like them. I like them. They're plain. They're not plain. They're simple. That's what they are. They're simple, but still eye-catching, and just the it's not a matte. It's like a slight matte finish to it. I'm in love with matte finishes. I don't know why. They just look so sleek. That's the word. That's the best word I can find. It's sleek. But yeah, really nice looking design. Let's crack it open. See what we got. Cool. Pouring it into my Osthaus chalice style glass. It's a bit of a lighter color. Cool. Pour about that much in there. That's about half. It is a 355 can, not a tall boy. Kind of a bummer, but you know what? Let's see if it's worth the tall boy, size. Looking at the beer, it's a very pale yellow. Not much carbonation coming through. Is that haze or is that just chill haze? I guess you could say it's slightly hazy. Doesn't look too bad. Not much of a head on that particular pour, but still, nice looking beer. Let's have a smell. Oh, I'm getting the grapefruits. Not like a sweet grapefruit, more of like the traditional bitterness of a grapefruit sort of smell. A little bit of like a candied sweetness smell. Touch of like, oh my god, I almost spilled that everywhere. Holy hell. A bit of Saison sort of spiciness, what I like to call it at least. A little bit of Saison spice kick to it. But yeah, that grapefruit, you get that grapefruit right off the nose really quick. It actually goes well with the Saison smell. Quite nice. Let's have a sip. Okay. Oh. I don't know how I feel about that. Quick bitter grapefruit. Then you get the Saison, typical yeasty funkiness to it, and then goes into like an awkwardly sweet grapefruit as well. I don't know how I feel about it. Gotta keep drinking to really divulge into all the flavors of the beer that I'm getting off this particular one. Cheers, everybody. Okay. Bitter grapefruit, Saison spiciness, funkiness, awkward sweet grapefruit trying to fight with the Saison. Not really working for me. Then again, I'm not the biggest fan of grapefruit, so there's definitely going to be some, in a sense, bias or personal flavorings. It's interesting for sure. Grapefruits and Saisons. Kind of understand why they're doing it. Does it work? Not really. Saison's the kind of style where it'd be weird to, in my opinion, to put in a fruit of some sort of flavor like that. It's sort of just its own style, and I'm kind of happy that they did try to experiment with something, but it's not working for my personal palate at all. But it's not terrible. I'm still gonna drink it. It's not one of those beers where you drink and you're like, whoa. No, it's drinkable for me. Just definitely not my thing. And it's a touch watery, touch light, which is weird because usually saisons tend to be quite, I guess, a touch bolder, like medium to heavy boldness of flavor. So I don't know how I feel about it. Actually, I do. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite for sure. But let's take a look on the can, see what Sunlight Park has to say for itself. So, description. Let's read it. This beer was created in honor of Toronto's earliest professional baseball stadium and home to the city's first International League Championship. Built in 1886 in East Toronto, the all-wooden structure sat 2,250 fans. This lightly tart saison is brewed with malted wheat and grapefruit zest and has a dry, refreshing finish. Brewed and canned at Left Field Brewery at 36 Wangstaff Drive, Ontario, Toronto, Canada. Blah, blah. Leftfieldbrewery.ca. Keep cool and enjoy fresh. Ballpark pairings. I love how Left Field does this. Put the food pairings on the can. Beautiful. Lobster rolls and smoked sausage. Oh, smoked sausage. Oh, that sounds really good right about now. Ingredients: water, malted barley, wheat, hops, yeast, grapefruit zest. And there is a brewed on date, May 25th, 2018. Is it on the bottom? No, but it's clearly labeled right around the can for your convenience, which is really cool to see. It has everything I want. Description, ingredients, best before date, or brewed on date, sorry. And even better, food pairings. No IBUs, not the end of the world, but everything else is... I'm going to knock this glass over, I'm going to break it, I'm going to be pissed off. Great information on the can. Moving over to the website now. Coming in for Sunlight Park. It is a spring-summer seasonal beer. It has the same description as it is on the can. A nice big picture of the big 650 bottle beside a fat tulip style or a snifter glass. Very nice indeed. Alcohol 5.3. This is reading at 5.3. Sorry, I thought it was 5.2. Nope, 5.3%. IBU is 22. SRM is 5 or a pale gold, like I said here. And food pairings, like I said here, lobster roll, smoked sausage, but they also had crab cakes. Never had lobster roll, never had crab cakes, but I've had smoked sausage, and I could see it actually going really well with this. Really well with the saison aspect. Like I said, grapefruit isn't really working for me in this particular beer. Then again, grapefruit is one of those hit or miss fruits in beers for me because I don't really like grapefruits on their own. Really nice looking website. Happy they add the little SRM and a touch more on the food pairings, and that they also include the IBUs there as well. Finally, moving over to Untapped, Sunlight Park Saison has been given a 3.64 bottle caps out of 5, and that is out of 3,875 ratings. So, a lot of people have had this beer. A lot of people have seemed to decently enjoy this beer for sure. But with all that said, we are down to my final sip, and I'm going to jump into my range right now. Choosing the final sip, everyone. I like the saison-iness of it, of the beer. I do. It's nice. It's a bit lighter, but not super light. And the grapefruit can... Okay, let me give it to you like this. Grapefruit in a beer. You can either get sweet grapefruit or like a traditional grapefruit, a bit bitter. The bitterness in the front of the grapefruit would work really well with the rest of the saison style, but you get the bitterness grapefruit, saison, then it goes into the sweet grapefruit, which really clashes with the saison flavors, and that's where it loses me. But if it stayed bitter grapefruit throughout mixed with the Saison, it would be great because Saisons have the little bit of spice, a little bit of funk to them, where the sour or the bitter grapefruit would flow really well with that sort of style of beer. But coming in with the sweetness just makes it really awkward on the palate. Left field, I gotta give Sunlight Park a solid 6.5 out of 10. It's just that weird sweetness of the grapefruit clashing just throws me right off of this beer, and that's why I don't really enjoy it. But the rest of it, the Saison portion, is beautiful. The bitter grapefruit, magnificent, just clashes in the middle of the sip and sort of ruins the beer for me. That's what I have to say. Finally, moving over to presentation. I love the presentation. I'm really happy I finally got to see one of these cans in person with my own eyes and not just on the gram kind of thing. It looks better in person for sure. Very eye-catching. I like the sort of matte finish it has. Great information, description, ABV, brewed on date, ingredients, ballpark pairings, even better for sure. And you know what? You make up the lack of IBUs on your website, which always looks tremendous. Just very nice and detailed. Also, just the whole, I don't know, something about it just very eye-catching and just appealing. It's simple, but it's elegant at the same time. So presentation gets a solid 9 out of 10 for me. Actually, no, screw it. 9.5 out of 10. Sorry about that. With all that said, before I leave you guys, if you have any comments, questions, or beers you want to review in the future, you can leave all the information down in the comment box below. If you want to go ahead and like the video or subscribe to me, my brewski, that'd be greatly appreciated as well. As for my question of the day to you is, do you think fruits should be added into a Saison style? Me, with this beer and this first fruited Saison, I'm going to say no. But yeah, let me know, because Saisons have that weird flavor profile that, I don't know, some people really like them, some people don't like them. Me personally, I'm a fan of Saisons. I really like the style. I really like what kind of flavors you get. It's definitely a different sort of beer than most people are used to. But with all that said, that's going to do it for me, my brewski. And like I always say, crack a beer and enjoy. Cheers.